What's up? Yeah, I'm growing the hair out again. I know, it's been a while. It's been a while. Dan thinks he needs to have some hair. So, I am installing the thumb gyro camera on this thing because my 3-inch needs a good camera and I wanted some gyro flow. Everybody's been talking about the silly gyro flow, and it's pretty hard to argue with this camera's capabilities at this point. Everybody was so against the RunCam thumb when it first came out because the gyroflow software was not ready for it. But now some of the stuff that I've seen from the original uh, version, well, I think this is actually the version 2.1. I don't remember. But this is, I want to say it's the 2.1. I don't think this is the 1.1. Regardless, this is the RunCam thumb gyro camera, and I'm getting ready to solder the wires for it down to the pads. But I wanted to show you guys what that looks like on a 3-inch. So this would be great for a 5-inch or a 3-inch, but these things produce incredible footage. I almost kind of like it better than what a GoPro offers you. Gyroflow just looks so freaking smooth. And so this thing is such a phenomenal flyer, this baby Wasp, this 3-inch baby Wasp, and it takes all the way up to 5S. This thing's a screamer. It's very fast for a tiny little quad, but I got to say, man, it's been in need of a decent camera for a while, ever since we switched out the HD camera that was on the front, and I did want to offer some stabilization. So I'm getting ready to solder this to the pads. We're going to boot this up for the first time. I'm going to go through the whole setup process. I doubt I'm going to do it all on here. I just kind of wanted to go live, talk to you guys for a minute while I do this installation. Let me actually read some of the comments here. What's up, Ryan? Michael, what you got? A gyroflow capable cutie? Yes, sir. I don't know, man. The Insta360 Go battery life and the overheating issues just didn't seem plausible to me. With this, I get 1080 and I get longer than 5-minute recording times, and it's not operating on its own battery power. I don't know. It seemed like the better option, especially at $49. I mean, comes with 2 cases, the uh, ND filter with it already, plus a screen guard. I mean, and I ordered mine from Race Day Quads, and they sent me a 3D printed mount for it. I mean, it came with everything you really need. So all I have to do now is get on here and install the other part of it to make it work with the gyroflow software, because it is capable of gyroflow. So I figured, heck, man, it's probably time to do that. And yes, I agree. It is a lot lighter. 3 inches. That's good stuff. Yes, Brian. Yes, sir. So hopefully this thing will make its debut at our little event down there at Rumble in the Jungle. Today we're just going to be soldering to the pads, and then I'm going to get in here. I think Clinton's coming over here in a bit. Everybody knows Tech Tweaker. Tech Tweaker should be over here in a little bit. We're going to go through the software on this thing, figure out how to get it set up with gyroflow. So right now I'm getting ready to solder these pads on here, because it takes 5 volts of input. I've already used my multimeter to figure out which pads I'm going to be soldering to, so I'm just going to get started here. And let me see if I can tilt this down so you guys can actually see what's going on here, because it just makes more sense. Not that you'll actually be able to see what I'm soldering, but I'm soldering to those 2 back pads back there, which are almost impossible for you guys to see. But anyways, that's what it requires to make this camera run on the power of the quad, is that you kind of have to make this do what it does carefully. So I'm just using a tiny bit of flux here on each pad so I can get it to stick right. I don't have much to work with here. Just enough to get it on there so that I can tin each one of these pads, and then I'll put a little bit of flux on the wires, heat them up, and we'll just dab them on there. It should be hot enough to at least use. Almost. It's almost hot enough. Ah, there it is. There she is. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on each pad here. Might have actually been a bit too much. Take a little bit of that out. Let's take a tiny bit of that out. We'll just add a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Don't want to bridge the pads, that's for sure. That'll be a bad day if you bridge the pads. I don't have enough flux on that one. It doesn't want to stay. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to add a little bit more. Boop. Michael, Night Train, what's up, buddy? We're putting the RunCam thumb on this beast here. That's what we're doing today. We're putting the RunCam thumb on here. Let's try that on for size, see if that works. Not real excited about this flux that I got. It just doesn't seem to do very well. There we go. All right, wipe off all this excess here. Don't want to start soldering, get all that crap on there. There we go. All right. This is where the fun begins, man. This is where the tedious little BS comes in. This is where it gets exciting. We get a bunch of flux on these wires. And this is going to be the fun part. Let me put this away real fast till I get this situated. I'm doing it with props on, which makes it more fun. More exciting. Because the props are going to constantly want to be in the way. There we go. Tap this with some heat. There's one. If I can get that wire through there now. There we go. Let's go ahead and work on wire number 2. Putting the negative on the pad now. If I can get that on there. Not quite. This damn thing. This is the worst solder and flux I've ever had. This stuff is garbage, man. It just wants to stick constantly. Clean this tip off real fast. It's making it impossible to do these little tedious solder jobs. There we go. I had to unsolder the black one, or the red one. So now I'm going to start with the black one and work my way over to the red one. This one seems to just want to be in the way. There we go. Make sure I didn't bridge those connections. Oh, it does look like I have a tiny little bridge in there. There we go. What crap flux? One more time. There. Grr. Damn it. That's all right. The FBI can watch all they want to. All right, I should be able to pull this through now. Pull those wires tight inside of here. There we go. Get those away from the props. Nice. Gosh, man, there's just one spot I'm not quite sure about on here, if it's touching or it's not. Oh, we're good. It's not. Okay. Let's plug this thing in for the first time and see what happens, shall we? It goes upwards like so. Watch this whole unit just smoke. I'll be pissed. Boy, I'll be pissed if this thing smokes. Should be about right. Wires on there now. Soldered into place on that side, you can see. All right. I got a good deal on that truck, huh? I agree with you. Let's see if we smoke this unit or not. God, dude, I'll be so mad if it does smoke. Nope. Look at that. Camera's on. Boom. Everything's gravy. Okay, we got SD cards. Camera is officially on. It's been soldered in there. It's ready for gyroflow setup now. So that's the next thing on the list, is set it up for gyroflow. let's get some gyroflow going on this thing. That'll make me a lot happier. So, all right, cool. So we didn't mess anything up. Pads are good. Camera's ready to record. Matter of fact, I'll just take a quick recording if I can. I think you just press it once and it starts recording. Looks right to me. There you go. She's blinking away. So the SD card I put in there is working good. So this will give me a chance to mess with the gyroflow software now that I've got it recording. Oops, I suppose I should pull that sticker off there. There we go. Probably looks a little better now that it doesn't have the face sticker on it. So cool. There, you guys are on a recording. Hey, look at that sexy guy. Yeah? Yeah? Oh. Yeah, I'll post this later for fun too. So that should be a pretty good angle. I might actually tilt it back just a bit more while I'm flying. I'll have to see what the field of view is. So that's set to where the camera is, but I highly doubt the field of view is nearly as aggressive as mine. That would be straight up and down at a lean. I would be most likely flying about like this. So I'm hoping it captures all this upwards view, but there you go. It's recording. It's running off the quad's power. SD card seems to be working. I'm going to have to look at that and see what my thoughts are. So looking at the lean ratio in case I like that field of view. Ooh. Ooh. So check for continuity. We're good, man. It worked. It works fine. So, all right. Well, cool. Let me stop that recording. Stop. I think that stops it. Hey, like a boss. Let me unplug the quad here. And then we got to go through the whole figuring out how the gyroflow software works. So that's the next step. Unplug my solder. Let me unplug my soldering iron. Put all this away. So that was cool. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Look, I look so weird with hair. You guys have seen me bald for so long that now that I have hair, it looks weird. It looks kind of strange, man. I haven't had hair in so long. Well, anyways, that's installed. I have a recording. So now I can plug into my computer, pull up the gyroflow software, go through the whole setup manual. I got to get it installed on the camera too. I think there's some coding that needs to be added to it to make it work properly. So that's the next logical step, is to do all the source code stuff and command prompts and all that goodie, all that good stuff. Set that out of the way for now. So yeah, fun, easy. There you go. RunCam, gyro operated greatness, competitor for the Insta360 Go. And they also have the pro version of this now that shoots in 4K at 30 frames per second. And I have to say, I've seen the footage from that one. I'm almost thinking about buying that one too. So I have both RunCams, because the 4K one looks fantastic and it's only $89. And I believe it does have an internal battery as well as being able to plug into the quad, the same as this one. But that one takes wide dynamic range shots. This one does. I don't think this has wide dynamic range. I could be wrong about that, but it might. Anyways, he said I can smell burning. Yeah. I've been drinking so much water today. Water's good for you. Anyways, I hope to see some of you guys at Rumble in the Jungle. If you have any questions about that, feel free to hit me up. I'll tell you exactly where it's at. We are here in Florida, so if you want to come through for Rumble in the Jungle, man, let a guy know. I'll give you the directions. Starts at 10 a.m. and goes until 6 p.m. on Saturday. And yeah, when did we get to see the blue smoke? Yeah, right. I still have to adjust one of these antennas. I need to change one of the antenna spots on this. So I still have to cut this off, cut that off, and switch one of the antennas out to the back. Instead of having them bunny-eared up top here, I need to switch one out to the back. So I might actually just do the right one here as the back one, just so it's not in the way of the battery cable. But yeah, these bunny ears have not been good. I've been losing signal having them bunny eared like that. And unfortunately, I think it's time to just move one backwards. So we're going to do that. But this quad, I know, right? It just looks like it's all battery. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? It's just got a huge battery on it. It's all battery. And that's because this quad is fast. This thing will go almost, I bet you on 5S, it'll break 100. On 4S, I think it's coming in around 65, 70 miles an hour, but I think on 5S it'll break 100 or just shy of 100. So good little drone, little fast buzzer, 250 gram weight category. FAA can't do shit about it. Matter of fact, I haven't weighed it now with the camera on there and the big 4S batteries. Normally, if I'm trying to stay under the radar, I'll run 3S on this, and it works really well. Ha! 241 grams fully loaded sitting like this. This still beats the FAA stuff, and it's still capable of almost 100 miles an hour, and it's still made of carbon fiber. So there you go. If you wanted to build a rig that defeats all that craziness of having to install, whatever the hell they were talking about with those units that you got to put on there for remote ID, this does not break the 250 gram weight category. Whee! 241.1 grams, fully loaded, like a boss. I don't think I have anything. Nope. Yeah, perfect. There, I'll just show. Actually, it's 245 now. I think I might have repositioned it slightly on the scale, but 245.4. I'll show that to you, just so you guys can see. Boom. Just under the 250 weight category. And it'll go 100 miles an hour and absolutely rip, tater chip. Yeah. Underweight with HD and gyro and stabilization and all that good stuff. Pow. On 5S, though, I think the 5S battery will put it over the mark. I don't think you really need more than 4S on this thing. It's pretty agile as it is. I only added 9 grams, 10, probably 15 grams with the camera on there. And the mount was probably, the camera itself weighs 9 grams. And then I added the wire, which I don't even think was a gram. And then I added that 3D printed mount. So I still think we're under the weight limit. So if you want to build a quad capable of getting past remote ID, the baby Wasp is the way to go. This thing's a ripper, tater chipper. It'll handle some punishment. I've been running this quad now for over a year and a half, and I still have yet to break it beyond repair. So it's an incredible little quadzy. It's incredible. Get you one if you want one. That was that prototype from Dan Piper Parkinson that sent me that. So anyways, catch you guys on the flip. Thought you'd enjoy just doing that with me real quick. Andrew, it's been forever since I've seen you, dude. Holy shit. Lunatic Dad, Lawrence in the house. Good to see Lawrence. Hey, man, I'm glad you're at 29,000 subs, buddy. You're killing it. I think you actually might have more than that now, Dad, but good for you, buddy. You're killing it, big guy. And PD Tech, I haven't seen you in forever, man. Weaves, it's good to see you, buddy. Dan is deep in thought. Yeah, sometimes I know I get a little carried away. I get to thinking, looks top heavy to fly. Must have incredible power. No wonder the batteries never last too long on drones. Exactly. No, I promise you, it's a ripper, dude. The whole thing rips. So, how much? Andrew, actually, I couldn't tell you how much the frame is. You'd have to reach out to Dan Piper Parkinson and on Facebook and ask him how much the baby Wasp frames go for. It's been a fantastic little beater quad. This thing has taken everything I've thrown at it and still continues to function. So, yeah, I feel that, Night Train. I feel that. So, anyways, guys, I will catch you on the flip. I have some work ahead of me. Friday morning, I was invited to Mosey to do some drone footage of their space launch. They're releasing a space balloon capable of going up into the atmosphere with a camera, and we were invited to go out there and rip the Freestyle drones around up to the 400-foot mark until the balloon gets above our area that we're allowed to fly. But so we're actually going to go out there, and that's why I'm trying to get this so prepped, because in the same day that I do the balloon thing at 9 a.m. in the morning, at 10 a.m. I have to be right at Rumble in the Jungle. So I'm basically going to fly the space balloon launch from Mosey, and then from there I'm going straight to the fucking Rumble in the Jungle. So I got to get this camera working. Oh, the whole thing, Andrew, I don't know, buddy. These are all built components. These are all components of choice. I mean, you see that stack is tight in there, bro. There's a bunch of stuff. Look at all the connections in there. There's a bunch of stuff going on inside this quad, dude. This thing is, I mean, hell, the front camera is 16 megapixel for analog. That's insane. So there was a bunch of stuff shoved in here, buddy. I couldn't tell you the whole. I had to get a very tiny FPV output on the back for 600 milliwatts just to get any kind of real range on it. So it's a bunch of custom components, but it worked out great. I think I have all the build specs if you actually want it. I think I have all the build specs of everything I used. DSY motors to start off with. Then when they burned out, I switched it over to the Emax RS 1306s, and that's, I want to say, 3300 kV. I think they're 3300 kV. Anyways, these are some animal motors. These magnets are very strong on here, so it rips, man. It's a ripper. I am lost, LOL. This sounds cool. That's part of FPV, man. You build your own shit, bro. Make it fly. You don't need the government to supply you with drones. Build your own shit, and then they can't tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. You have the control. Alrighty, guys. Later, Lawrence. I will catch you guys on the flip, man. Toodles.